So do you have a deck of cards handy?
I always have a deck of cards handy, mate. Yeah.
So take 8 of them. It doesn't matter which 8.
Any 8? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right.
Shuffle those 8 cards up. Let me know when you're done.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay, and then look at the top card and remember what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I can't possibly know what that card is, right? But I do know where it is. So what I want you to do is think of a number between 1 and 10, and then move that number of cards one at a time from the top to the bottom. So move them one at a time. Let me know when you're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Now, since I don't know your number, I can't possibly know where your card is either. In fact, unless you were paying attention, you may not know where your card is exactly. Yeah. But just to make sure, whatever number you use move that same number from the top to the bottom one more time.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Right, done.
So here's what I want you to do. Take the cards and deal 4 cards face up in a row.
Yeah, 4 cards face up in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep.
And then deal 4 more cards in a row underneath.
In a row underneath. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done.
Look at those cards and concentrate on your cards. I am feeling a disturbance in the force. So go to the last card of the first row.
The last card of the first row. Yep.
What card is that?
The Queen of Clubs.
Yeah, that's not your card, right? Get rid of it.
Okay, yeah, it's not my card.
But I am sensing some. Go to the last card of the second row.
Yeah.
And what card is that?
That's the Jack of Diamonds.
Yeah, that's not your card either, so get rid of that. Right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Take your card, the card you're thinking of, and switch it with any card to the left or to the right of it. Okay?
Okay.
All right, I did feel something there. I did. So go ahead and read me the cards in the first row out loud.
Yeah. The first row is 3 of Spades, Jack of Hearts, and Ace of Spades.
Okay, and then the second row, read those out.
I've got the 6 of Diamonds, the 8 of Diamonds, and the 5 of Hearts. Okay.
Concentrate on your card. Now, actually lift it up, but keep it out of the screen.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, because I can't see anything. Now, you didn't think of a card in the first row, did you?
I did.
That's what I thought. So hold your card up, because the card you're thinking of is the Jack of Hearts, right?
It is.
Well, it worked.
You've still got the psychic superpower, mate.
Psychic superpower.
That's great. That's a great trick, man. So how does it work?
So let's talk about how that works, huh?
Yeah, I think we better had, John.
Okay, so you've got what, like 8 cards in front of you, right? You have 8 cards, right?
Yeah, I'm going to take 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Put the deck away. Now, you can shuffle those up. It really doesn't matter because I have no clue what they are, right? And then look at the top card and remember what it is. All right, so it's the 6 of Diamonds. Now, here's the thing. I can't know what it is, but I do know exactly where it is. I mean, that's obvious. It's on the top, right? So I need you to think of a number between 1 and 10. It doesn't matter what it is. And move that number of cards from the top to the bottom one at a time.
So I'm going to go 3. So I go 1, 2, 3.
Right. Now you can sell this right now and say, if you had thought of a different number, your card would be in a different place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And since I don't know what your number is, I can't possibly know where it is. In fact, unless you were paying attention, you probably don't even know where your card is. But just to make sure, whatever your number was, move that number of cards again from the top to the bottom. And let me know.
Okay, so 3 again. So 1, 2, 3. Done.
Okay, now, I'm pretty sure you don't know exactly where your card is. I mean, it would be, I mean, there's no real reason for you to pay attention. And I can't possibly know. I mean, these are the things you tell people, because remember, I can't see anything, right? This is all happening below the table. But here's what I know. Whatever number you named, because you moved that number twice, you moved an even number of cards. Okay?
Right. Okay.
And what that means is I'm going to call it parity of your card stays the same. So if your card was at an odd number, which it was 1, right? It's still at an odd number. Okay, so right now I know your card is either 1st, 3rd, 5th, or 7th. I mean, I know that it's in one of those 4 places.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now, and we want to try to direct attention more towards the identities of cards rather than mere locations. Okay, and make it seem more like a mind reading thing than just a location trick, right? So now I ask you to deal a row of cards face up of 4 cards.
Yeah. So 6 of spades, 5 of spades, 6 diamonds, 3 of diamonds. Yeah.
Now remember, I can't see this, right? This is all below the screen. And if we were doing it live, I would just turn aside so I still couldn't see it, right? And then go ahead and deal a second row underneath, face up. Okay, so we know your card is 1st, 3rd, 5th, or 7th, and we absolutely positively know it's not 4th and it's not 8. So it's not any of the end cards in either row.
Right, yeah.
So the first thing we do is we get rid of those. So I say, you know what, go to the card at the end of the first row and tell me what it is.
3 of diamonds. And
then I concentrate, do my thing, and say, nope, that's not it. So get rid of that one. But I did get an impression. What's the card? Go to the card in the second row, the last card in the second row. And what card is that?
King of clubs.
Yeah, that's not it either. So you just do your thing, and this is almost like a trick in itself, because you are going to get both of those right. You are guaranteed to get both of those right. So now here comes the real secret. We know your card is is 1st, 3rd, 5th, or 7th. So now I ask you to switch it with with a card on either side of it. Okay, and what that's going to do is move your card into the middle of that row.
That's brilliant. So yeah, because my card he's always going to be one of the corners. So wherever you switch, it's always going to then be one of these 2.
So we've narrowed it down to 2, and we've got one more move to make. I have you read out all 8 cards, or all 6 cards to me. And all I do is I remember the second card, which is the middle card in the first row. And then I remember the middle card in the second row. So when you read these out, what is it? 6 of spades, 6 of diamonds, 5 of clubs. All I'm remembering is 6 of diamonds.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then 2 of spades, 4 of hearts, 3 of hearts. Now I know it's either 6 of diamonds or 4 of hearts, right? And so this is an old thing, but it's very effective. I say, now you didn't think of a card in the first row, did you?
I did.
Okay, and see, no matter what they say, you go, that's what I thought. So if you say, I did, then I say, that's what I thought. And if you say, yes, then meaning you didn't, I say, that's what I thought. Okay, so it's not a whole lot to remember here. But it's also effective, before you do that, is to have them pick up their card, but not show it to you. So go ahead and pick up your card. And remember, this is all below screen, so I can't see it. And then you hold it up like that. Perfect. Back out. And now I say, you didn't pick a card in the first row, did you? And you said, yes. And I said, that's what I thought, because you're thinking of the 6 of diamonds, right? Go ahead and show everybody. And you nailed it. Now, if you had said no, I would have said, that's what I thought, because you're thinking of the 4 of hearts, aren't you? Show everybody.
Yeah.
And that way you get it. And it's a pretty subtle equivoke there, I think, because you remember, people are thinking you're dealing with 6 or 8 cards, and you're not. You're only dealing with 2. So one little, equivoke-y kind of thing is not going to call that much attention to itself. And besides, as soon as you get an answer, you go right to the finish.
Yeah, I love it. I really like the fact, like a lot of remote tricks find the location, but I like that this is worked. So this moment is great online, isn't it? Like I've got my card, and then you can just say, well, it's the king of clubs, and boom, there it is. I think that is killer, man. I really like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. This is based on a Steinmeier trick called 4-card Monty, and he only used 4 cards, obviously, but he was much more interested in where the card ended up, because he was kind of like playing a Monty game, right? And so I bumped the number up to 8 and tried to shift all of the focus to the identities of the cards as opposed to where the card ends up. And I think it works.
Yeah, love it.
Now, let's talk about the only tricky part of the whole trick, and that is that little equivoke at the end. Now, I do this one. You didn't think, did you? That's one of my favorite ones, because it's just ambiguous enough that nobody really understands what you're asking, and they're just going to say yes or no, right? And so you didn't think of a card in the first row, did you? And then no matter what you say, you're done. No matter what they say, you're done. But if you want to have some fun, you can do the old cherry color card thing, right? You know what the 2 cards are, and if one's red and one's black, you can go, all right, it's a cherry colored card, right? What? You never heard of black cherries? You're thinking of the whatever, go ahead and show everybody. Okay. So the thing is you can move directly to the kill after only one question. And so these lame jokes actually, work. You know what I mean? I mean, they do what they're supposed to do, right? Another one, and I just made this one up, is you're not thinking of a licorice colored card, are you? And of course, there's red licorice and black licorice, right? So
yeah.
What do you mean? You never heard of red licorice? You're thinking of the 4 hearts, right? So there's that. Anyway, there's a lot of different ways you can go and for this last move, and it is really the only move in the whole trick. And you have to be a little mentally nimble, but basically all you ever have to do is remember 2 cards, and then bring the trick to a swift conclusion. So I call that one Zoombaya, because it's a zoom trick, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, there's a lot of zoom tricks that can only do on Zoom, or you would only want to do on Zoom. This one you can do live, and all you have to do is just turn away so that everybody knows you can't see what's going on. And it's just as effective. It's probably more effective live than it is over Zoom, but it definitely works over Zoom, right?
Yeah, man, I love it. I think that's great, and I've never have worked that out. So I'm glad I sat in on this.
That's one of those things. It's like if you don't know how it works, you're pretty much not going to figure it out. Certainly not after once, and probably not at all. Now, another thing you can do, and our comrade Raj Madok, he likes to use, instead of a number between 1 and 10, he has people think of the name of someone, and it would have to be the name of someone they knew how to spell, right?
Yeah.
And then you have them move cards spelling the name of the person.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now and then you have to have them move it again and spell the name of the person again. And same thing works, and it takes some of the emphasis off the numbers, and some people may like that better. I know Raj does, but that's something to keep in mind. One last thing is, it doesn't have to be a card trick, right? Now, let's say I have a bunch of business cards, and I write on the back of it, 8 locations, right? Paris, London, Rome, Washington
Oh,
D.C., whatever, and have you
yeah.
shuffle it up, or have you pick a place that either you've been and you liked, or you always want to go, you've always wanted to go, and put it on top, and then just go through the whole trick again. And if you do the row thing, like you didn't think of you're not thinking of a city in the first row, right? Then it does. You don't have to do the red black thing, and that echolocation would actually work. So that, for those people who don't like card tricks, that kind of takes it out of that arena and puts it in a whole new light. In fact,
Yeah.
if you're one of those creepy mentalists, you can do a living and dead test and have 7 live people and have them write, or 7
Yeah.
dead people and have them write down the name of a live person.
Oh man.
Whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. And but it works, and it works in person and it works on Zoom. So there you go.
Love it, mate. Great trick.